Alright, I'm going to make this video as short as possible. I'm going to let you know the pros and cons of each build. Starting at number 1 in no particular order, we got the rebounding shot creating center. This center comes with no Hall of Fame badges, but you do get a total of 23 badges, including 9 gold. This center, best I can describe it as, is the most balanced. You know, you got a mid-range game, which is good for a pick and pop. You got the speed for a pick and roll, but you got the strength, the lateral quickness, and the rebounding to match any other centers on the boards. Now, this center build does have its cons. You know, it's not the best rebound you can get in the game, but it's still one of the best. Basically, if you're just someone who doesn't really like to score or just doesn't mind not scoring, and you just kind of want to be that role player that you can say, yeah, no one can out rebound me, and you can kind of be the smarter center, this is definitely the build for you. This is the build I use, this is the build that NADEXE use, and this is the most popular build out there for centers. Alright guys, the second build I'm going to show you is the post scoring rebounding center. This is definitely one of my favorite builds I've seen so far. Haven't really seen too many people use it, but just by looking at the stats and the badges they get, it's definitely kick-ass. This build does have cons and pros like every other build does, but this is for the people that really want to make an impact in the post and really are trying to score points. But if you're someone that kind of likes to force shots, you might want to have it rebounding as your secondary skill. This will help you get the boards, put it back in occasionally when you miss. Now, this is the most athletic build out of all of them. You can kind of tell the speed, acceleration, lateral quickness, and some other categories. They're not as good as they should be. You definitely saw that mid-range game, and your layups and dunks are really high. Now, you will get boards. You're going to get out-rebounded by a rebounding specialist who has it as their primary skill. But you also get the bruiser and brick wall badge, which I think is more important than any other badge that you see on the screen now. Mostly because without badges, I see people that are just killing it in the park with a bronze drop step or bronze post spin technician. And the final build I'm going to show you guys is the driving and finishing and the rebounding center. This center is purely for scoring, but also will dominate. And when I say dominate, I mean you will out-rebound rebounding centers. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. This build, layup and dunks, you will be fine with a 90 overall dunking. Mid-range game, not really there. Don't really expect to do too much outside of the paint. The vertical and lateral quickness is the reason why I'm saying the rebounding on this build will be ridiculous. Now, I have been out-rebounded by small forward, driving and finishing players because their vertical is so goddamn high that they get higher than my rebounding center sometimes, and it's almost ridiculous. And on top of that, they're 7'3", got a maximum vertical, and their secondaries are rebounding. It's over for anybody in the paint if you miss. You got the putback king and all these badges on Hall of Fame still. You still got 5 gold, 5 silver, and 6 bronze. If you want to be offensively dominant, this is the build for you. I'm not kidding when I say this is the build no one can stop. Alright, now to get to the build itself. Now, when you're going to make centers, you're obviously going to want to go with a 7'3" build. There's no reason to go anything lower than that because you want to be as tall as you can to get rebounds and kind of dominate everyone else. And everyone's 7'3" in this game. Don't go 7'2", don't go 7'1". You're going to want to stay at 7'3" for every single one of these builds. Once you have them at 7'3", max out your wingspan. You want to really be reaching as high as you can for the boards. And since this build is really for being mobile because you have the shot creating as your secondary skill, make sure your guys anywhere between 300 pounds to 320 pounds. I kind of met in the middle at 310. If you make him anything heavier, he's going to be too slow. Anything lighter, not going to have a high enough strength to really get the box out. And you know, the contact dunks just aren't going to be there. So anywhere between 300 pounds and 320 pounds is the optimal weight for the center build. Shoulder width, you always want to max out your shoulder width as well as your arm length, and anything after that, choose what you want. It's not going to affect your guy really too much. For the second build, the post scoring build, this guy is not supposed to be fast, he's not supposed to be mobile. This build is for dominance and dominance only. Make him 7'3", max wingspan, but the weight, go 340. I could go maybe 330 with this build, but it's really not worth it because your guy's only going to get an extra 2-3 speed by doing that, and he's going to lose maybe 5 strength or 5 box out. So just the weight of losing the box out and the strength for an extra 2 speed, it's just not worth it. So make sure this guy is definitely maxed out somewhere around 340 pounds. Now also you want to make sure this guy also has shoulder width max. Anything after that doesn't matter. Getting to the very last build, the driving and finishing and the rebounding. This is another build that needs to be 7'3". You need to have that max wingspan and the weight. This I can go either way on. You could go with a little bit later to have the mobility, so you can kind of have that driving dunk and the driving layup, because you are driving and finishing. But if it was me, I would go max weight, kind of just do bully ball down low, and the speed is still going to be pretty high because you got the driving and finishing, even though the rebounding brings it down a bit. And the weight, you should still be fast enough that you're going to be faster than any other center on the court, unless they're also driving and finishing as their primary. If you guys did like the video, make sure you guys leave a like on it, comment down below what you guys want to see. Also make sure you subscribe if you want to see more content of ours. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for constant updates. You can also tweet at us for what content you want to see next. Make sure you also follow us on Twitch, because we always like to live stream at least 3 times a week. Until next time guys, peace.
Girl, that's my pussy.